Got a quarter?
Due to the graphic nature of the following program, viewer discretion is advised.
Our city moves to amend the charge to 437.01 in exchange for a guilty plea. Your Honor, the defendant does respectfully request to pass for sentencing. Single motor vehicle accident.
Okay, this is a minor misdemeanor punishable by up to a $150 fine. The amendment will carry 0 points. Do you understand? When you enter a plea to an amended charge, however, the prosecution is requiring you enter a plea of guilty, which can be used against you in any subsequent matter. Do you understand? So if there's a civil matter arising out of this accident, it was single car? Is that what you said?
I think a barrier.
Okay, all right. So by entering a plea of guilty, you're giving up your right to trial to a judge. At that trial, you have the right to remain silent and not have it used against you, the right to cross-examine any witnesses that are called to testify against you, to subpoena witnesses to testify on your own behalf, and to have the case proven beyond a reasonable doubt with the burden on the city of Cleveland. Those are all your trial rights. You're entering a plea of guilty and giving those up. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. How do you wish to plead then to unsafe motor vehicle?
Guilty.
Okay. Accept your plea of guilty. I'm going to go ahead and find you guilty. We'll pass this first sentence then till April 29th. Is that good?
You gonna do what?
April 29th. Pass this first sentence. You come back with insurance.
Okay.
Correct?
I'm a truck driver. There's no way that I can like pay this today and just not have this on my record, because like this could affect my job.
Well, you're entering a plea to a 0-point violation.
Yeah.
Right? So hopefully that won't affect your job. If you pay it today, if you don't have proof of insurance today, it's going to go to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles as no insurance shown, and then you'll have a driver's license suspension on your record, which I'm guessing will affect your job.
Oh.
Yes?
All right.
Okay. You can come back sooner if you want. You want to come back next week with?
No. I mean, the sooner I can, like, I just don't want this on my record, but like you said, it ain't gonna be no points, so I'll just take that, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. It's going to be on your driving record as an unsafe motor vehicle,
All right.
not as a moving violation. You understand?
Yeah.
And you don't have proof of insurance today? Is that correct?
No.
Okay. All right. April 29th.
City moves to amend the charge to 437.01 in exchange for a guilty plea.
Okay. So as you've heard,
She does have insurance today too.
Okay. This is a minor misdemeanor punishable by up to a $150 fine. That's the maximum, but it carries 0 points. Do you understand?
Yes.
Before I accept a plea from you, just like the others before you, I need to make sure you understand all the rights, including a right to an attorney, a right to a trial, the right to remain silent, the right to cross-examine any witnesses, to subpoena your own witnesses, and they have the case proven beyond a reasonable doubt with the burden on the city of Cleveland. You're giving up all those rights. Do you understand?
Yes.
How do you wish to plead to unsafe motor vehicle?
No contest?
Okay, I'm going to accept your plea of no contest. It is a minor misdemeanor. So I'm going to go ahead and find you guilty. Anything you want to tell me?
Well, I was in the wrong of, I apologize because I was in the wrong of speeding, trying to give a family emergency.
Okay.
And that's why I'm here today, to do the right things, not to speed no more.
Okay, because you don't want another emergency
Correct.
in the middle of trying to get to
Correct.
help one. Okay, $50 plus court costs.
Right.
All right, have a seat outside. They'll call your name.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to let you know that's spelled wrong. It's Ivana.
It's spelled wrong. Which one? Your first or last name?
First name, it's Ivana.
Okay. Ivana?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, we have a resolution.
Okay.
City moves to amend the charge to 437.01. Defendant did have insurance at the time of the stop.
Tell me one more time. IVANA or AV?
Ivana.
Okay. IVANA. Okay. Okay, so that is also an unsafe motor vehicle charge, punishable by up to a $150 fine, 0 points. Do you understand?
Yes, understand.
Okay, and you are giving up all the rights that I've been saying, the right to an attorney, the right to a trial, the right to remain silent, the right to cross-examine any witnesses, to subpoena your own witnesses, and to have the case proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand?
Yes, understand.
Okay, how do you wish to plead to this amended charge?
I'm guilty.
Okay, accept your plea of guilty. I'm going to find you guilty. Anything you want to tell me?
I just want to let you know I didn't have intentions of running the red light. When you are closely approaching a yellow light, you kind of have two options.
Right.
And I felt like slamming on my brakes wasn't the best at that point, so.
Okay, it happens to everyone, I
Right.
think. All right, $50 plus court costs. Are you able to pay that today?
Do you need credit cards?
What?
Is it cash only or?
No, we'll take your money anyway. You
Okay.
can provide it. All right, good luck. Have
you.
a seat outside. They'll call your name. Mr. Kohler, you want, maybe I can help a little. You want me to try and
Your
assist
Honor.
a little? Okay, so I think what the officer is, or what the prosecutor is offering is what's called a 0-point violation. It's an unsafe motor vehicle. It's kind of a legal fiction. They amend the charge so it's more beneficial to you. It's the same level charge, but it carries no points, so it won't be sent to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles as a point violation. Okay? Points are what the Bureau of Motor Vehicles keeps track of every time you get a traffic violation. Okay? So he's offering to amend this charge to 0 points if you enter a plea to that amended charge. Okay?
I see.
Or, that's option number one. Option number two is we go forward today with a trial. The officer's here. He would testify as to what he saw, you know, why he decided to write the ticket, and then you would have an opportunity to cross-examine him if you wanted to. That's ask him questions if you wanted to. And then you'd have an opportunity to testify on your own behalf if you chose to, but you're not required to. Okay? And I can't use it against you if you choose not to. But that's what a trial is. Today is the trial date. So today we would go forward with trial. But if you choose to take the deal that the prosecutor's offering, which is the 0-point violation, then you won't have to go forward with the trial. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what you want to do today?
Yes, I'll move forward with the trial.
Okay. All right. We're here for trial then. Everyone who's planning on testifying, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as you shall answer to God?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Kohler is the prosecutor. He has the burden of proof, so he's going to go first. He's going to ask Officer Jones questions. After he's done questioning him, if you have any questions at that time for the officer, you can go forward and ask him questions. If you don't, that's okay. And then it's your turn. If you'd like to present a case, you can, and you can testify on your own behalf. But you are not required to, and I can't use it against you if you choose not to. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Mr. Kohler.
Thank you. At this time,
Officer Jones.
At this time, Your Honor, the city called its first witness, our city waives opening.
Okay.
At this time, city called its first witness, Officer Jones.
Yes.
Officer, please state your name and spell it for the record.
Officer Marcus Jones, Jones, badges 550.
And officer, where are you employed?
City of Cleveland, Department of Public Safety, Cleveland Police 4th District,
And how long have you worked for the City of Cleveland Police?
20 years.
And can you briefly describe to the court what your duties are as a police officer?
Yeah, I'm assigned to a traffic car in the 4th District, and we get complaints throughout the 4th District, and we are assigned to monitor traffic in those certain areas.
And I'm going to draw your attention to March 11th of 2019. Were you working on that day?
Yes.
Were you in a marked patrol car?
Yes.
Were you in uniform?
Yes.
Did you have the occasion to come across a 2012 Chevy Malibu silver color?
Yes.
Can you briefly explain to the court how you came into occasion with that car?
Yeah, I was monitoring the school zone. I was facing northbound and traffic. I was monitoring the traffic coming southbound for the school zone that day. And it was commander's complaint.
And what happened next?
I observed the vehicle coming southbound, and it went around another vehicle. And that's at that time, that's when I pulled it over for speeding.
Did you use any radar
Yes.
to detect speed?
I was running radar.
And Can you please explain to the court how radar works?
Radar works, it picks up speed as you're coming along, and the faster the vehicle is going, it beeps and tells you it's going faster, and also it digitally comes on the monitor on the screen.
And what did you do with your radar gun on that day?
What you mean? It's mounted to the car.
Oh, it's mounted to the car?
Yes,
And was it in working condition on that day?
yes.
And did you ultimately see who was driving that car in the day?
Yes,
And is she present here in court today?
yes.
Could you please identify her?
She has a red shirt and a black skirt.
Let the record reflect identification.
The record also reflects.
And officer, in what city did this occur?
City of Cleveland.
And you said the defendant's vehicle did pass somebody?
Yes. She admitted to going around the vehicle, and that's the only reason she was speeding, to get around another vehicle.
No further questions.
Okay. So now, Ms. Hicks, it's your turn if you have any questions for the officer to ask him questions at this time.
I don't have any question. I'll just
Okay.
tell my
All
version
right.
of what
Okay,
happened.
does the city rest?
One follow-up question. What was the speed that the defendant was going?
32
And what was the speed
in a
limit?
20 school zone.
No further questions.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Okay, on that date, I guess it was March 11th, I was going up 93rd, and it was a school zone. I was going 20 miles per hour. I was not in the curb lane. I was in the second lane. Then there was a sign that said speed limit 35. It was then that I proceeded to pass the car, and he testified that I went around one car. Now, I don't have a Ferrari. My car cannot accelerate 20 to 32 just going one car length. And I went back to the scene, and I actually made a video if you want to see it. And he was facing, like, I don't know, north from south. He was on the other side, and I saw him there. I would not blatantly speed if, you know, in the school zone on purpose, seeing the officer sitting right over there.
Okay. All right, any questions?
No?
Okay. All right, so sometimes in the middle of school zones, there are going to be signs that say 35 miles an hour. That's just not, that's the normal speed limit on that street. But that doesn't mean the school zone's over until you pass the signs that say the
There
school
was
zone
never a sign that said
is
in school.
exit.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right, I am gonna find you guilty after a trial. It's $50 plus cost. Are you able to pay that today?
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
It's $50 plus court costs. Are you able to pay that today?
Yes.
Okay, have a seat outside. They will call your name. For the record, insurance was shown on the day of the incident. All right, Mr. Williams, I've had an opportunity to speak with your attorney, prosecutor president at sidebar. So at this time, do we admit or deny the violation?
At this time, Your Honor, we admit the violation, waive probable cause, and ask to be heard with respect to mitigation.
Okay, I'm ready for.
Thank you, Your Honor. You said you're ready? Yeah.
I'm ready for
Thank
you.
you, Your Honor. On behalf of my client, I did have an opportunity to talk to him. As we've had some discussions at sidebar, we are aware that my client has some struggles with respect to the chemical dependency. He is making an effort to try to get those things addressed. We would request if the court would consider giving him an assessment, allowing him to continue on probation and try to continue his road to recovery. Thank you.
Okay, is there anything you'd like to tell me, Mr. Williams?
No.
Okay.
I finished my NLP program, and I got 2 more meetings to go to. That's it.
Okay, so I'm going to order all the normal conditions of probation, all the ones I previously gave you, but I'm going to be really clear right here on the record, okay? So there's no misunderstanding. Marijuana is illegal in the state of Ohio unless you have a medical ID card, which you do not, correct? Yes? Okay. So marijuana is illegal. Cocaine is illegal. For you, alcohol is a violation of your probation. Okay? So we're clear, right here to face, your attorney's present, and we're on the record, and we're even on TV today, okay?
Yes.
We are clear. Any substances that are keeping you from sobriety are violating your probation. Do you understand?
Yes.
I'm going to continue your probation at this time because you have the case pending upstairs, and I want to see what happens in front of Judge Sinnenberg there. But I am going to order a reassessment, a substance abuse assessment. So let's see where you're at today, okay? Because it seems to me that we may need some. I'm not an expert on addiction, but I think that maybe they need to take a little bit deeper look at what's going on with you and how you are able to cope with the substance abuse problems that you appear to have. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, my probation officer said he wanted me to come in on the 1st. I got 3 MAD meetings left.
Okay.
He said if I finish those and I come clean on the 1st, then he'll see if he'll give me an act of probation required from me.
The probation officer from the city of Cleveland?
Yeah, Mr. Roach.
Okay.
Yes, that's what he's telling me.
Well, that's interesting. I'm not sure I'm there yet, but we'll see, okay? I want you to do the 3 MAD meetings. I want you to have a substance abuse assessment again so we could see where you're at, and then we'll take a look at it in a couple weeks, okay?
All right,
I'm going to
thank you.
actually set this for a probation status hearing. I don't always do that, but I'm going to do in this case just because I want to see what progress you're making and, again, what's going on upstairs before
right,
I
thank you.
continue this. So how about... we're going to need a little bit of time to get that assessment back, so how about like mid-May-ish?
Sure.
May 15th or 16th, either of those days work for you?
The 15th is good, Your Honor.
Okay, 5:15 at 9:30 a.m. for probation status.
Sure, no problem. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Patton, so you were supposed to be here,
The 14th.
let's see,
of
for an
February.
ability to pay hearing in front of me.
On the 14th of February.
Okay, you know it.
Yeah, I got the paper.
So where were you? Why didn't you come?
I was actually trying to get a job at the moment, and I couldn't miss it, so I was
Okay,
back
well,
and forth.
you-
And I
you're-
tried to call down to reset, but that I was still back and forth with the job because I was working midday, 10 to 10, so I really couldn't make it. And I was trying to keep the job, so I can't actually pay.
Do you have the job now still?
No, ma'am.
What happened?
It was temporary, and
Okay.
I was actually trying to pay off another city, because I actually have 4 more cities other than Cleveland that I'm paying off currently right now.
All right. So, would you like, since you're not working, let's talk only about the old case that is the time to pay. Do you want to do community work service on that?
Yes, that would be
All right.
perfect.
On that one, you owe $297. So I'm going to go ahead and convert that to community work service.
Okay.
So we'll say 30 hours. And they have you complete those 30 hours by June 30th.
Okay.
If those hours are not complete, I'm going to get a report on probably July 1st, okay? If they're not complete, you need to come back and see me on July 11th, and we'll talk about what's going on.
Okay. Would this be for all of the cases, or is this just for one?
Right now, we're just talking about the case you missed court on, okay? We're going to go to the next case in a minute, okay?
Okay.
So July 11th, you have to complete those community work service hours, okay? I mean, June 30th. You have to come
Yeah,
back and
June
see me on July 11th if they're not complete.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That's at 11 a.m. If they are complete, then on this case, you don't have to see me again. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So go get them done before you go get a job.
Okay.
All right? 30 hours, that's less than most people work in a week.
Yes.
You could get it done, all right? All right, so that's that case. Now let's talk about your new case. And by the way, you keep owing this money to 4 different cities because you keep getting in trouble, which is not a good thing. But this is a minor misdemeanor, disorderly conduct. Oh wait, this was also, he pled guilty to this one. Yep. So was this everything? No, I see. Wait, no, you never pled on the driving case. You pled on, that was on the disorderly conduct case, right? That you entered a plea in front of me?
It was for the less than 100 grams with the marijuana thing.
And it was amended to disorderly conduct. Okay, so that's on that one. Now let's talk about your driving record. What's going on with your record?
That's what I've actually been
So
trying.
this
to
is
figure
what you owe money for all over
Mm-hmm.
the place. Cleveland Heights, have you gone there?
No, not yet.
Okay, you need to go there and talk to them about what's going on. Willoughby, have you gone to Willoughby?
Willoughby Hills, yes.
Okay. And what happened there?
A $510 fine.
And then they'll release it after you pay that?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what about Bratnaugh?
Right now, $210 fine.
Okay. All right, so until you clear these cities up, your license is suspended. And even once you clear those up, then you're going to need to get on a payment plan, I would assume, with the Bureau of Motor Vehicles
A reinstatement, yes.
and get an SR-22 bond and request driving privileges because you have 4 non-compliance suspensions. So you're going to have limited driving privileges once you get to a point where all those are paid off. Do you understand? I think what's best on this case is for you probably to go over to the public defender's office so they can help lay out for you what you need to do and in what order, okay? Because sometimes that matters. If you do one thing, you might spring another suspension on you. So you want someone to help you and walk you through it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's continue this till April 29th at 9:30 a.m. for you to go to the public defender's office and get started on these things to get your license valid. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, on that other one, you still owe the 30 hours of community work service by June 30th.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're running on 2 tracks in this court. Do you understand? You're going to complete those community work service, but at the same time, you're going to go to the public defender's office to try and clear that driving case. Okay? Have a seat outside, and they'll give you the information. Or have a seat over in these seats, okay?
Your Honor, city moves to amend the A charge in the case ending in 312 to 4511.194. And the defendant will plead guilty to the amended charge of physical control as well as the B charge, the driving at marked lanes. And in exchange for the guilty plea, the city will nolly the remainder.
We have the other matter as well, the DUIs.
Yeah, so nolly the rest.
You said got it. Okay, that works. Including that. Okay.
Okay.
Your Honor, that's our understanding. My client's aware of his constitutional rights. Again, Michael Polito, 440-895-1234. That is our understanding of the plea arrangement in this case. Anthony is aware of his constitutional rights in this matter. I believe he's prepared to give you a knowing and voluntary guilty plea as outlined by the prosecutor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Green, I know your attorneys advised you, but the law requires I do a little talk with you about this. You are giving up the right to a trial, the right to a judge or jury, the right to remain silent and not have it used against you, to cross-examine any witnesses called to testify against you, and the right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your own behalf, as well as have the case proven beyond a reasonable doubt with the burden of proof on the city of Cleveland. By entering a plea of guilty to these 2 charges, I am going to find you guilty. The first is a physical control, which is a misdemeanor of the 1st degree. It is punishable by up to 6 months in jail and or a $1,000 fine and a possible driver's license suspension. And the second is a driving in marked lanes, which is a minor misdemeanor punishable by up to $150 fine. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. How do you wish to plead then to these 2 charges?
Guilty.
Okay, I'm going to accept your pleas of guilty. Go ahead and find you guilty. Of those, Mr. Polito, I think I'm okay to go to sentencing today.
I am.
Yes, okay, all right.
Your Honor, this incident happened in January 12 of this year. My client was coming from a family gathering. He was on his way home. He and I have had discussions about, the allegation was operating a vehicle while impaired. He knows, and we've discussed at great length, the harm that he could cause to himself or another engaging in this type of behavior. But there were things brought up through discovery that led to this plea arrangement. Anthony's 40 years old. He's he attended Max Hayes. He has a GED. He presently works for BJB Home Renovations, basically doing remodeling homes. He has 5 children who he provides for. I believe he's very remorseful for what has happened here, and he's prepared to accept full responsibility. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Green, is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Yes, I'd like to apologize to the court for my actions and will never happen again.
Okay. Can we do a quick sidebar real quick? Okay, so sentence is as followed. $450 fine, I'll suspend 50 of it, 180 days jail, 177 suspended. I am going to allow you to do the driver's intervention program within 60 days in lieu of those 3 days jail. 12 months probation.
Hang on.
It's going to be active until the requirements are complete. That includes the driver's intervention program and 3 MAD meetings.
Okay.
A driver's license suspended from January 12, 2019 until, we'll do January 12, 2020. If you get your license in order and all the other ways that it's suspended, because I think you have some stuff going on, yes?
Okay.
Yes. I will consider looking at that in.
Yeah, I believe there's some other matters with the BMV that he needs to resolve, and if he does that, he can return to this court.
And apply for driving privileges, or if it's been 6 months and you've had no further violations, I'll consider.
Very well. Thank you, Your Honor.
Suspending the suspension, okay? All right. So today you're going to have a seat outside. Do you need time to pay, sir? No. Okay. You're going to have a seat outside. They are going to give you how much you owe, and then walk you down to the probation department or give you the information to go down to the probation department. They either will meet with you today or give you a date to come back. They'll explain everything to you to make sure you're successful. Once you complete the requirements, I will allow it to become inactive probation, okay? All right.
You sure you can pay all this today? It's going to be like $500-600. Your Honor, I think my client might need some time to pay. I think he misunderstood.
That's fine. How about July 30th? It's a big amount, so I'm going to give you an ability to pay date. So if it's not paid by July 30th, come back and see me on August 8th at 11 a.m. This is with only regard to the money, okay? If you need more time, then you can come back and see me on August 8th, and we'll talk about it at that point, okay? Okay. If you've paid off the fines and costs, then you don't need to appear at that court date, okay?
Great. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Have a great day.
Good to see you.
For a videotape copy of this episode, call 664-3571 with the following information on your TV screen.